Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Guatemala conduct preliminary visits of impoverished families in San Jose Pinola. Tzu Chi volunteers in Yunlin help repair care recipients' homes ahead of the Lunar New Year. And farmers in Myanmar donate rice in a volunteer training event to pay the love forward. In the Central American country of Guatemala, many foreign workers live in San Jose Pinola, a city near the capital. In an unstable economic environment, many are unable to send their children to school, and many engage in illegal activities to provide for their family. Tzu Chi volunteers have been conducting house visits to help some of these impoverished families.
San Jose Pinula, an area not too far from Guatemala City, has become a community of migrant workers. Tzu Chi volunteers arrive at the largest community, Colonia Santa Sofia. There are over 10,000 people living here, and the number is quickly increasing. Many buildings and roads are in violation of safety regulations, with many homes lacking utilities like water or electricity. The kitchens in these homes are all using wood fires, filling homes with smoke, which will cause health problems. During the home visitation, Tzu Chi volunteers have to ask directions because homes are pieced together from scrap metal without any house numbers. Communities are generally overpopulated and without proper medical facilities. In August of 2014, the Tzu Chi Foundation offered a free medical clinic for residents and was able to care for the health of 800 people in need. In another community, San Andres Semetabaj, the mayor accompanies the volunteers to visit the home of an impoverished student whose mother relies on weaving to provide some income. It will take her 2 months to complete a single garment, which will sell for only about $78. Visiting two separate homes, one can see the poverty and sickness, as well as pain and sorrow.
In Taoyuan, Taiwan, local Tzu Chi volunteers recently extended their assistance to a family whose members suffer from illnesses and cannot clean up their cluttered house. The homeowner, Mr. Lin, who is almost blind, has to care for his hospitalized mother. Learning of their plight, 25 volunteers mobilized to help clean up their house.
In Taoyuan, the living room of a care recipient is so cluttered that it's hard to go in and out. There is also a foul smell in the air. The borough head has asked Tzu Chi volunteers for help, so 25 of them have come to clean up this house despite the cold weather.
We came to clean up the house so when the grandma is discharged, she can live in a clean environment and enjoy the Chinese New Year.
The homeowner, Mr. Lin, is almost blind from retinopathy. His mother is hospitalized due to cancer. In addition, his eldest brother, who had a stroke, can't take care of himself. Therefore, the borough head, who has been helping them, sought help from Tzu Chi.
Thank you so much. I really want to thank you.
The volunteers clean up the place, including the windows and even the ancestor table. Mr. Lin's eldest brother has also been persuaded to come downstairs to worship the ancestors.
Thank you for your help so their house can become so clean and they can live comfortably. I also want to thank you for giving them a bed.
Helping this family in need, the volunteers relish in the joy of giving and cherish the chance to serve in the community.
Staying in Taiwan, with Chinese New Year just around the corner, Tzu Chi volunteers in Yunlin have reached out to care recipients who need to repair their houses to stay safe and warm. Local volunteers recently mobilized to help repair an old house for a father-daughter pair who have been staying in a container house. In addition, volunteers also help repair the house for a single mother who lives in an old ancestral home with her 2 daughters. Tzu Chi volunteers work together to replace broken roof tiles with new ones. They are repairing the house of a Vietnamese widow, Ms. Chen, in Do Liu City. Since her husband passed away 2 years ago, Ms. Chen has been raising her 2 daughters and is unable to repair the old house.
We changed the wires, which were intertwined. We have added switches for her.
The volunteers replaced the pit latrine with a toilet, in addition to repairing the broken roof. Liu City Mayor also comes to express her gratitude.
Thank you, our Tzu Chi friends. Taiwan is an island full of love, and it's even better with Tzu Chi.
Helping others fills my heart with joy.
I also brought my granddaughter here so she can learn to cherish her blessings.
After the repairs are completed, Ms. Chan's daughter served tea to thank her mother.
When we have the ability, we will also help others the way Tzu Chi has helped us.
Ms. Chan and her daughters are now ready to face their future with the care of Tzu Chi volunteers and a safe home. In this narrow container home, there are no furniture except 2 beds. This is where 65-year-old Mr. Ding and his daughter have been staying.
We cannot live in our old house, which is often flooded. Someone gave this container house to us.
Mr. Ding has a heart problem while his daughter suffers from diabetes. Since they do not have the money to repair their old house, Tzu Chi volunteers have come to lend a helping hand.
We rebuilt the house and added a bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom.
Tzu Chi Foundation's construction department uses materials that are resistant to seaweed erosion, hoping to give Mr. Ding a new comfortable home.
I am deeply touched, or else I would not have a house to live in.
One volunteer also lent Mr. Ding's daughter her motorcycle and accompanied her to go get a motorcycle license.
She took a day off to take me to the driving test. I am very grateful.
When the repairs are done, the volunteers paste New Year couplets and prepare snacks to celebrate.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for reaching out to Mr. Ding.
Through singing, the volunteers encourage Mr. Ding's daughter to stay strong and care for her father. The volunteers will also stay by their side in the days ahead. To celebrate the upcoming Chinese New Year, nurses at Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Kedah, Malaysia, recently arranged a lion dance to give the center a festive atmosphere. They also reminded the dialysis patients to be careful with their diet.
The Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Kedah, Malaysia, has become very festive with the lion dance and the Chinese New Year music. The nurses not only bring the dialysis patients happiness, but also remind them to stay healthy.
We want them to enjoy the Chinese New Year and not to feel burdened because of their sicknesses. We don't tell them what they can't eat. We tell them what food they can't eat too much of.
The nurse explains to the patients about the dishes that people often eat in the Chinese New Year.
We must know that the potassium will increase the burden to our heart and make it beat faster.
For the foods we can eat, just don't eat them. For those we can eat, we must not eat too much either. We must have a healthy diet. This is good for our health.
The dialysis patients can feel the love of the nurses who try to protect their health.
Staying in Malaysia, Tzu Chi's Jingsi Hall in Moore will soon be under construction. To raise funds, Tzu Chi volunteers visited nearly 200 families, encouraging them to save money in coin banks and donate the money to support the construction. They also sold cookies to raise funds for the construction.
To raise funds for building a Jingsi Hall in Moore, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia went from door to door for 2 hours, distributing coin banks and encouraging people to save money as donations. In total, 198 households accepted the coin banks.
I don't feel tired no matter how far I have to walk, as we're raising funds for our Jingsi Hall.
The committee chair of local community also pitched in to help.
Tzu Chi volunteers have a good influence on children. They guide people on how to be a good person.
After going from door to door, we found that the residents here are very supportive and also hope that our Jinsi Hall can be built soon.
Tzu Chi volunteers even sold cookies to raise funds in the local temple.
As long as we try, we can be of help, even if we can only sell 1 jar of cookies or 2.
Even Tzu Chi volunteers elsewhere have also pitched in to help sell cookies.
Our volunteers are happy and not stressed when helping to sell cookies. We all hope to raise funds to build our Jinsi Hall in Muir as soon as possible.
Volunteers in Malaysia work together closely in this endeavor.
In 2015, when Myanmar experienced serious flooding, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed rice seeds to help local farmers. Afterwards, nearly 100 people who have received aid decided to become volunteers and help others in need. At Tzu Chi's volunteer training course in Thay Pia village, 12 farmers came with rice to donate.
Carrying jars of rice for donation, residents make their way to the Thay Pia village neighborhood head's home to gather. Today, there are 12 farmers heading to participate in a Tzu Chi volunteer training course. The reason Tzu Chi was able to hold this volunteer training is because last year, after Tzu Chi's aid distribution here and forming bonds with residents, many decided they would like to spread compassion and help others, just like Tzu Chi volunteers have done.
We have some new bodhisattvas in our village participating in this volunteer training course. I'm moved and very pleased. 4 people in our village even quit their bad habit of chewing binglang.
The neighborhood head, Uang Ten, points out the 4 men who made the difficult decision to give up chewing binglan after more than 10 years.
Since I was small, I see adults chewing binglang, and I just went along with them. After Tzu Chi told me chewing binglang was bad for me, then I decided to stop. Binglang isn't like food. It's not like it's necessary, so I would definitely quit.
U Tan Tun's decision wasn't an easy one, but after participating in this training course, he realizes he has more important responsibilities.
Originally, my daughter and I wanted to save rice to donate, just the 2 of us. But when my neighbors heard and realized it was a good chance to gain some merit, they all wanted to participate. In the end, I grabbed 16 jars to bring back.
After donating the rice to charity, these residents return home with empty donation jars to a village of plentiful crops, happy to know the joy of giving.
In Europe, year-end blessing ceremonies were held respectively in Germany and England. While Tzu Chi volunteers in Germany spend a year safeguarding Syrian refugees, their counterparts in England help take care of seniors and the homeless. Next, let's look at how the volunteers in the 2 countries held their year-end celebrations.
Here in Manchester, England, Tzu Chi volunteers hold a year-end blessing ceremony despite the heavy snowstorm.
It is the end of the year, and as a family, we're holding our year-end reunion banquet. I know everyone is looking forward to receiving the red envelope of blessings and wisdom from Master Jing Yan. I hope everyone is filled with peace and harmony in this new year.
Although the entire ceremony was held in Chinese, there was a translator on site who helped translate the message for those who didn't understand the language. During the event, a Taiwanese student shared how with Tzu Chi in his life, his student life in England was made much easier.
I've come to regard Tzu Chi Manchester as a little family of mine, and not only all the lovely volunteer colleagues I've had the pleasure to work with, but also the grandfathers and grandmothers in the nursing home we visit every month, and also the wonderful people we go to interact with and cook for, and just, have a good time.
Many in the audience came to fully understand how love has no bounds.
I just realized that if we keep focusing on our own sorrows, we just feel very small and we forget to share with the whole world. But if we are able to be aware to the whole world, and if we listen like everybody in Tzu Chi is really listening with a big, 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 big heart.
With good thoughts and compassion, the world seems a bit brighter. This is the first time. Tzu Chi volunteers in Frankfurt, Germany have tried to spread the Dharma through a sign language song at a year-end blessing ceremony.
In different parts of Germany, we are canvassing donations to help Syrian refugees. We are also subsidizing their language tutoring fees so that they can quickly assimilate into society.
Looking back at the work of the past year, volunteers in Germany can rest easy, knowing they put their heart and efforts into carrying out Tzu Chi's mission locally.
As Tzu Chi volunteers continue to hold year-end reunion banquets for care recipients around the island, nearly 300 families attended the event at Jingsi Abode in Hualien. Dishes for the banquet were prepared by 200 Tzu Chi volunteers. In addition, free tuberculosis screenings and haircut services were also provided.
In the kitchen, Tzu Chi volunteers are working with their full capacity to prepare dishes for nearly 300 households of care recipients. The dishes are served by people wearing cute mascot costumes. Miss Zheng is a garbage truck driver who has to raise 3 daughters by herself. 7 years ago, her daughters began to receive tuition aids from Tzu Chi. This enables them to continue their education. To give back the help they've been receiving, this family works at a banquet as recycling volunteers this year.
During the most difficult moment of my life, Tzu Chi volunteers were very supportive to me. They also care for my children. Tzu Chi is like a big warm family to me.
At the Jingsi Abode, volunteers also provide free haircut services. Hualien County Health Bureau has also deployed mobile medical vehicles to provide free tuberculosis screening at the event.
Poverty and illness are often intertwined. To help those care recipients break out of the cycle of poverty, taking care of their health is just as important as providing them aids.
After the banquet, Tzu Chi volunteers also give out supplies to the care recipients so they can enjoy a happy Chinese New Year.
At another year-end reunion banquet held by Tzu Chi volunteers in汐止, New Taipei City, more than 100 families attended the event. Let's join them there.
You promised me you will do rehabilitation regularly and get well soon, right?
For 5 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting Miss Chou's family every month and bring comfort to her bedridden husband.
Master said we should gladly accept and cherish the goodwill we received from others, okay? Everything will get better.
Tzu Chi volunteers' company has been a significant support to Miss Chou, who has to take care of the household by herself.
Since my husband got sick, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for us for over 5 years. Seeing what they have done for us, I'm really grateful to them. I'm thankful for their support over the years.
Tzu Chi volunteers in汐止, New Taipei City, hold a reunion banquet and an aid distribution. Many care recipients attend the event with their coin banks, intending to donate the money inside to Tzu Chi.
Miss Chou's husband is sick and their kids are still young, so she needs our help. When her children grow up, she can give back by helping others.
On the reunion banquet, besides enjoying the delicious vegetarian dishes, care recipients can also receive free clinic services, free haircut services, and aid supplies.
Their kindness and care that you forget that you are a disadvantaged person receiving aids. They just want to do their best for you. With all the love I've received, I feel that I should try harder in my life.
It's cold in the winter, but Tzu Chi volunteers' kindness brings warmth to the hearts of people attending the banquet.
In our next report, we meet a vegan chef who started a mobile diner in New York City of the United States to promote healthy vegan cuisine. With a passion to cook vegan cuisine, James Rafferty had to establish his own business, as there were few work opportunities that match his vision. In running a mobile diner, Rafferty is now able to promote vegan cuisine in different corners of New York City. Let's take a look.
I was a long-time vegetarian, and when I became vegan, I wanted to be really passionate about my work, and I thought I want to be a vegan chef and only cook vegan and only make vegan food, and I realized those jobs aren't out there. There are no jobs, and I realized I had to create my own job. And there she is. When you make that leap to vegan, it becomes so easy, and it becomes a realization that, wow, I wish I would have done this sooner. Why didn't I do this sooner? You know, what took me so long to get here? As a chef and a long-time vegetarian chef, I realized, wow, I understand why it's hard for the general public to take a while, you know, or maybe never to get there, because I'm surrounded by food.
It's got tofu on it. You got to convince the non-meat eater to, you know, try tofu. But the thing is, they marinate the tofu, so it has flavor other than just a tofu flavor.
TLT mayo on the side. I went to the CIA, Culinary Institute of America. When I graduated, I went to France for a year. I worked in, you know, three-star Michelin restaurants. Does it come in handy? Absolutely. She's so cute, though. But she does. There are a lot of issues involved with a food truck, especially in New York City. I mean, there's the parking tickets and permits and all that nonsense. There's a long list of pros. I mean, we're able to pop in here to the garment district, feed over 100 people for lunch, and then tomorrow we're gonna pop up to 52nd and 6th. A restaurant couldn't get away with that kind of stuff.
I've been trying to eat a lot healthier and trying to eat a lot less meat and more vegetables, a little bit more raw food. I wanted to be in a little healthier state of mind. So I saw this and I thought that would be really fun to try, so I came out. That's actually really good.
Right now, we're concentrating on filling that void of fast, healthy food. I think we're making a big contribution. The more you know, the more you'll change, you know, and the more open you'll be to something like this, I'm sure of it. This is all about bringing what I've learned and my passion to the masses.
Ahead of the Lunar New Year, Tzu Chi volunteers and the medical staff of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital visited some families in need in Luye and Chishan townships of Taidong. Besides delivering nutritional supplements, they also helped clean up the house of a care recipient who has mobility problem. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.